Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashok, and today in this video we are going to discuss about the daily routines or daily tasks performed by data scientists, right? So a lot of people have queries, and a lot of people ask me questions like what data scientists do on a daily basis or a daily routine, right? What are the routine of a data scientist? Today in this video we'll understand that, and we'll understand the workflow of data scientists. So without wasting much time, let's dive in. So guys, I have created few boxes here, and we'll fill these boxes in this video, and at the end of this video you'll understand what different tasks or what routine data scientists follow, right? So the first stage, if you see right here in the workflow, so this is data science project. So this data science project is basically given by the client, and client will provide you some insights on the data science project, what exactly their use case is, right? What exactly their business requirement is. The second stage, what we will do is called as requirements gathering. So in the requirements gathering stage, right, there are chances that data scientists might involve or interact with many other peoples, right? So one is product owner, then you might interact with domain expertise, might interact with business analyst. Data scientist needs to interact with these peoples like product owner, domain expertise, and business analyst, right, to get the understanding of the business, right? So what is the business use case, how you're going to solve those business use case, right? You need to understand the requirements first, and then you need to interact with these peoples. So this requirements gathering or data gathering, right, so this might also involve a collection of data from different sources, right? Maybe from a data external databases or any third party APIs, or any kind of web scraping, right? So you can start collecting the data from these sources, right? So that is requirements gathering. So data scientists might also interact with data engineers just to get the data quality and the accessibility of the data, right? Data scientists also work very closely with stakeholders just to define the problems they are going to solve or problems they are going to address, and what are different use cases they are going to solve with this particular data science project. Then comes very important point of feature engineering. So this is very much important stage in any data scientist's life. So once data is gathered from the requirement gathering stage, so data scientists will spend a lot of time in understanding the data, cleaning the data, wrangling the data, and summarizing the data. Second step in the feature engineering is handling missing values. Third step involves handling outliers. There might be a skewed data, so you need to handle the outliers. So we'll see how we'll handle outliers in coming videos. Then you will do something called as categorical encoding. Then you do something called as standardization and normalization, and you perform statistical and graphical data analysis. So in this stage, data scientists might work with different libraries and tools, right? So you work with NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, Matplotlib, and Plotly, Cufflinks, whatnot, right? We'll understand those in the coming videos. So once feature engineering is done, this explore data analysis is done by the data scientists. They will work something called as feature selection. So after you do a lot of pre-processing in the input data, right? So you have to select the features, how many features are important for your model building, right? So you do feature selection techniques also. So in this case, first step is you might use correlation, you might use forward elimination, you might use backward elimination, you might use random forests feature importance, you might use feature selection with decision trees, right? There is option of feature selection with decision tree model also. So once you are done with the feature selection techniques, or you found out okay, what are the most important features for your model building or model training, right? So you start model building, or you say model training. So in model building or model training, right, so you need to understand the use case, right? So what kind of use case you are going to solve based on the requirements gathering, right? And based on the your interaction with the stakeholders, right? So you might require, okay, what kind of use case? Maybe a classification use case, or a regression use case, or you have a clustering use case, or any kind of computer vision use case, or any kind of natural language processing use case, right? So based on this, you start building your models. So once you complete the model building stage or the model training stage by using these algorithms, right, then you will use something called as hyperparameter tuning. Hyperparameter tuning. So once you complete the model training stage and the model building stage, right, in that case, what happens, you might have used many performance metrics in case of model building, right? So there are chances that you will not get the expected result, you will not get the expected performance, right? In this case, what happens, you can tune your hyperparameters to increase the accuracy or increase the performances, right? So that stage is hyperparameter tuning, and this hyperparameter tuning stage, for the first step, is grid search CV. Then you have randomized search CV, hyperopt. Then you have optuna, you have keras tuner. So you can use this different hyperparameter tuning techniques to just to tune your parameters, or so that you can increase your accuracy or performance. So once everything is done, you have created a model, you did the hyperparameter tuning, then you have something called as model deployment. So now this is very much important step in case of data scientist workflow, right? So once you do model training, model building, hyperparameter tuning, everything is done, and then you need to deploy your model. So now there might be chances that there your deployment is in-house, or you are deploying it in AWS, you are deploying it in Azure, or you are deploying it in GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So based on your requirement and client's input, right? So you can start deploying your model in any kind of cloud systems, right? So after hyperparameter tuning, you can save your model, you create a Docker file out of it, and then you create a Docker image, and then Docker container, and then you containerize your application, and then use this model deployment strategies, right? You can use AWS, Azure, or GCP, wherever you want to deploy. You can deploy that containerized application. So after model deployment, you have model monitoring. So once you deploy your model on the production, and then in the production, you might have many things you need to take care, right? So you need to monitor on a regular basis, your model is performing good, your model is performing bad. So you need to see like what is the accuracy, you need to log this metrics and all. Keep on auditing the model, right? Basically what you do in model monitoring is you do logging, then you do auditing. So logging and auditing is basically for the metrics, the performance metric. You need to measure the performance of your model. So model monitoring stage is very important, because you need to keep an eye on your models once deployed into production, right? Because data might be keep on changing. Once you deploy your model, it is always the data that keeps on changing, and new data might come in. So in that case, you need to keep an eye on the performance, you need to log the metrics, right? So a lot of things has to be done in model monitoring. So once you deploy your model on the production, and then you did a lot of model monitoring, you measure the metrics, you measure the performance, right? Then there is something called as model retraining. So in this case, what happens, right? So once you deploy your model into the production, right, there are chances that you are getting a different data, or data is changing by time, right? In that case, your model's performance degrades, and once the model degrades, there are chances that there is a data drift. You need to handle this data drift. Then you need to handle this concept drift, and this continuous data change, right? Data change. Or there might be chances that, suppose you have built your model on 10 features, and suppose the data has been changed by time, right? In that case, now the data is coming with around 12 features. So those two features has been added to the model input, right? In that case, you need to take care of those things, and you start retraining your approaches, right? You need to change your retraining approach. And there are chances that some people will work with 30 days retraining, or some people should work with 45 days retraining. That depends upon the use cases. Apart from these two, right, there are two other blocks have kept it here, right? So suppose you need to have a dashboard team, and your data scientist team might interact with the dashboard team as well, right? And apart from this, they might have an interaction with the DevOps team also, for the help required in the deployment of the models, right? creating a Docker file and create Docker image, containerizing your application, right? In that case, and you need to deploy it in a CI/CD pipeline, or you're using Jenkins, right? In that case, data scientists might not have a knowledge on those particular things and those particular technologies, right? In that case, you can interact with DevOps team, or you can take help of DevOps team to deploy your model on the production. So main step in the workflow is the collaboration, right? So data scientists might have a collaboration or have an interaction on a daily basis with these many peoples, right? So domain expertise, and then you have product owners, you have business analysts, just to understand the business context, and they will interact with the data engineers to get the data quality and assess the data, like. And then you interact with the dashboard team just to get a reports and create a dashboards out of your input data, right, out of your feature engineering or EDA performed. And then you also interact with the DevOps team. So data science is an iterative process. It is not that once you build a model, feature engineering, build a model and deploy the model, right, everything is done. So there are chances that data might change, and there are from the stakeholders you might get a different data, right? In that case, you need to create your strategy, or refine your strategy, fine tune your strategy, right? And you do feature engineering again, and then do feature selection, and in model building also you use different algorithms altogether to just to refine your models, right? So apart from this, there are some additional tasks which data scientists will go through, right? So the first step is staying up to date with any kind of advancements in the algorithm or in the tools, right, or in the libraries. So they have to be up to date. And the second point is they have to contribute to open source projects or open source world. Then next, they have to attend workshops and conferences so that they can learn new innovations or new inventions which is happening in the data science world. So guys, overall workflow or a daily routine of a data scientist is the combination or blending of your technical knowledge, analytical skills, and collaboration, and your communication skills. And they act as a bridge between these many peoples, right? From starting from product owner to the DevOps team. Okay guys, that's it from my side for this particular video. We understood the workflow of a data scientist, or what kind of daily task or daily routine data scientists will perform, right? Thank you for watching. I'll meet you all in the next video. Till then, take care, keep learning, and keep rocking.